Why do you believe?
No, why? So you're one making the claim there is no God. So you must have some kind of proof for that.
So what? So you have proof that?
Well, no, you're making the claims here. You just went, there is no God, which means you know something that we don't.
Do you know that there is a God?
Well, you're making the claim. Can you support your claim with any evidence?
I'm saying there's nothing at all. If you're saying there's a God, then show me.
No. First thing, you're making the claim. Now, if we're dealing in logic here, you're making the claim.
If I claim there's no grass here, I don't need to prove it because it doesn't exist.
No. You said there's no grass here. That's a claim, yeah?
I don't. Yeah, but it's not. I don't.
And how would you prove that claim?
I don't need to prove the claim because it doesn't exist.
Why do you say it's God then?
In logic, if you make a claim, the burden is on you to support that claim. So what is the evidence you have to support your claim that there is no God?
There is no evidence. I don't need evidence because there's no evidence.
No, but, so you're basically making a claim without evidence. So your claim is emotional rather than logical.
Yours is emotional.
I've not made a claim.
If you do believe, okay.
I've not made a claim. You made the claim.
I believe there's nothing because there's no reason.
No. I understand what you're saying.
I want to tell you that everybody around
you want to move away from here?
If you're not born again, you're in danger of going to hell.
That's right.
You're in danger.
What do you say? That's the make sense.
No, because there are many people who think like you, and I'm intrigued by people who just make claims willy-nilly. Christians make the same, like he's making the claims there.
He's making a claim.
Right. Now here's the difference, you see. He makes a claim. I'll ask him to support his claim with evidence. He'll cite the Bible. That's his reason to support his claim. I'll rip his evidence apart. Then if he still continues that claim, he's now delusional. Yeah? Alhamdulillah. You've made a claim, there is no God. As I'll do the same to you as I will do to him.
Okay.
What's your evidence to support your claim?
Like, okay, children have cancer, people die.
So children having cancer and people dying proves to you that a creator of the heavens and earth doesn't exist. How does that prove that?
It proves to me there's a disgusting, awful decision. If someone's making the decision...
We're not interested in your emotional opinions. We're interested in logic here.
If someone that's making the decision
subjective opinions
to kill babies, you know, for me that's...
Right. So you can say this, you see, because as you believe God kills babies, you can ask the question, why does God kill babies? You can't say God doesn't exist because children die. That doesn't make no logical sense. It's an emotional statement, it's an emotional reaction.
But the thing is, what I'm saying is there's no evidence to prove it or disprove it, so why believe it?
Okay, so here's the point, you see. If you have no evidence, don't make claims.
So I'm
that's the first thing you should learn today.
Refuting his argument. So basically,
you said to him...
In order to refute his argument, I needed to state my belief that there is no God.
Right.
I can't just say to him, oh, actually, there is something out there, there's something else, but I have no evidence of that something else, so therefore I need to claim the opposite, that there is nothing.
Right, right. So you're basically, like I said to you, you're making a claim without any evidence.
Yes, because if there was evidence, then I would believe in.
So your claim is not logical, or intellectual, or rational, or reasonable. It's emotional.
The claim cannot be based on anything because there is nothing that exists.
What do you mean?
The claim that I make, yeah, so I can't say...
So so look, if you want to make a claim, what did I just say to you? You have to prove what you're saying. If you can't prove what you're saying, it's just your belief. And your belief is based on subjective, emotional reasons. Babies die, people get cancer, therefore there is no God. But it's not rational, it's not intellectual. Now, I was under the impression you atheists are rational, intellectual, logical, reasonable, yet you're behaving sounding like him.
Well, I believe in scientific advancement. Science makes sense. Science works.
All right, how do you understand science and its advancement and how it makes sense and what as a method it is? Well, I don't understand that. What do you mean? How does science make sense? Do you think science doesn't make sense to me as a Muslim?
So science, I'm sure you're aware of IVF.
IVF and?
Yeah, is that a creation by Allah or by God or?
Okay.
That's a scientific, rational decision.
What do you think IVF proves?
IVF is showing the human technique of creating the ability.
All right.
To...
And if you had no eggs, could you do IVF?
If you had
no eggs?
No.
Right. And if you had no sperm, could you do IVF?
No.
Right. So what's your point?
The scientific.
So how does IVF prove anything?
Because it's a scientific advancement. I'm talking. this is one piece of evidence. This is one scientific advancement which shows the human ingenuity over the millennium. It's called.
Okay. So science then produced the egg from nothing. Produced the stem cell from nothing.
But what do you mean?
That would be scientific advancement.
Coincidence. So are you talking about millions of years ago?
No, I'm saying to you. See, what you're doing. You're taking credit for something that already exists. You're taking an egg. You're taking sperm, and science has learned how to utilize this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
How to.
Right. No, science was taking credit. Yeah. Science was taking credit. Right.
No, science was taking credit for recognising it, locating it, and then.
Do you think as a Muslim I don't believe in IVF?
I didn't say that.
No, but you tried to use it against my religion.
I didn't use it against it. I used it.
All right. How does IVF, being able to take the egg and the sperm and artificially inseminate a woman, prove God doesn't exist?
I'll give you one illustration of a scientific advancement.
I'll give you another. Okay. Nuclear weapons. What's your point?
Yeah, I'm talking about this is science.
So you're telling me science has learned how to create life, and science has learned how to obliterate life. What's your point?
What's your point?
My point is this: you keep saying science makes sense,
yeah.
but in the discussion we're having, yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, your point doesn't mean anything to me. You're just saying it doesn't make sense.
No.
What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is this. I said to you, we're talking about God. You made a claim God doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You couldn't support it with any evidence.
But I'm giving the illustration of scientific advancement.
But scientific advancement has nothing to do.
Yeah, but why are you talking about nuclear weapons and nuclear destruction?
Because you're trying to say because man has advanced in IVF treatment.
Man has been able.
What does that prove?
But man has been able to find out intricacies.
What does the Quran say about this?
About nuclear technology.
About gaining knowledge.
I'm not sure. Tell me, enlighten me, please.
Right. Because do you think scientific? Who was the first scientist?
May not necessarily be enlightened to know what.
Who was the first scientist? Who was the first scientist?
The scientist was a Muslim.
Alhamdulillah. Ibn Sina. The whole methodology you're talking about was invented by a Muslim.
Invented is a very terrible word. Invented.
Really?
It wasn't invented. It was discovered. This is
discovered by whom? Discovered by whom?
Not Allah. Allah didn't.
No. Who discovered it?
No. You can give him.
And was that person a Muslim or not?
A lot of early science was Islamic.
Thank you. No.
Okay.
No, we're talking. No. We're talking about the method he's employing.
That doesn't make.
See, you seem to have this. Listen.
Okay, so a woman.
No.
A human being. A human being.
Those early Muslims.
Here's the thing, you see.
The first scientist was a woman.
Invented science.
Is that what you're saying? The first scientist was a woman.
When did I say that?
You just said the first one was a. Yeah.
I didn't say that. No, I'll tell you what it does do. See, you seem to have this idea that Islam and science are opposed to one another.
I didn't say that at all.
No, but you're implying it.
No, I'm not implying it at all. I'm saying that science.
So you don't believe in Islam? No, this is what you say. You don't believe in science because in Islam or in religion, yeah?
Not just
because of scientific advancement.
I just want to make it clear. This is all religions, not just Islam.
You can't do that. You can't equate Islam with other religions. If you were speaking to a Hindu, you can challenge my worldview against what you believe. I'm a Muslim, so you have to go against what I believe.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's one particular. I'm not saying there's one particular religion I disagree with. I'm saying this.
No. What I'm saying to you is this: if you make a claim, support your claim with evidence. If you can't support your claim with evidence, then give your reasons for it.
That sounds very scientific. What you're describing.
Yes, because I believe in science. It seems I believe in science more than you do right now, because I'm using the laws of logic and you're not.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
the fact that you believe in Islam shows that you don't use the power of logic.
Why does me believing in Islam prove that I don't believe in the power of logic? What is illogical within Islam?
I am going to, from this stage, not use the word prove because it's a dangerous word to use when discussing.
Well, you just said prove.
You can use his own word against him. He used the word evidence.
Okay.
Yeah, produce your evidence.
No. You've got to show the evidence.
No, he just made a claim about my religion again. He's made two claims now. He made a claim God doesn't exist, which he couldn't support, and was an emotional, subjective, statement, which cannot be supported. So now, he's now made a counterclaim now that me believing as a Muslim in Islam is an illogical thing to do. So now I want to understand that.
I just don't understand Islam because there's no evidence for it.
No evidence for Islam?
Well, it doesn't help me. Not no evidence that helps.
How do you think Islam would help you?
Sorry?
How do you think Islam would or could help you?
Would or could help me?
Yeah. How could Islam help
I
you?
can't see why it would.
Can Islam help you if you don't follow it?
It can add to a whole panoply of spiritual positions that I sort of take note of and listen to. And
All right, anyway,
it gives me a
sorry,
broader.
you're gonna have a tangent. 1 second.
Comes, I stick to one.
Yeah. We can have a discussion later. I don't mind.
No, I'm quite.
No, I don't mind. We'll go your spiritual
I'm quite
route.
happy sniping on yours. I don't want this guy sniping on mine. But he's a Sufi master. He's a Sufi master.
You can snipe, but I won't respond. Right.
I've got to head off, but what we will agree is that we disagree.
What we will agree.
We will disagree.
No. What we will agree is that you came to this park today, you shouted out an emotional, subjective, opinionated statement with no rationale, logical reason behind it.
I'm not going to agree with that, okay?
Well, you don't have to agree with that because we know you deal with emotion.
I don't have to agree with anything.
I know, it hurts, I know.
I don't have to agree with anything.
I know, it hurts.
So what we will,
don't worry about
we
it.
will agree.
Because you thought you had the intellectual, reasonable, higher ground, and you don't.
Listen, you can't talk about intellect when you talk about religion. You just can't.
Are you religious?
No, not
So I can talk about you then, can't I?
Not at all.
Are you religious?
We can't talk about when we're discussing religion, which
Can we discuss the laws of logic then?
we discuss it. This is.
Do you accept the law of logic and the logical fallacy you employed?
We're talking about religion now, and in that you can't talk about
But
it.
you made a claim about it though. Stop making claims you can't support.
The gentleman was saying about the Old Testament, New Testament, Jesus is this, Jesus is that. I said Jesus doesn't exist. The other gentleman was talking about Allah. I said Allah doesn't exist.
No, he said God doesn't exist, as if he knows God doesn't exist. So I asked him to explain his reasons for making this statement.
I should have shouted out. There's no evidence that God exists.
Good.
Then I would have.
And I'll give you a problem with that as well. Because I'll tell you why it's the problem. What you just said. Because you're a scientist, yeah? You follow science, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Can science be used to judge the existence or non-existence of God?
Well, science is a very...
No, can it be you? Because here's the problem you have with science. Its premise is there's no such thing as the supernatural and everything has a natural explanation. So how are you going to use that as a tool to measure the supernatural? You can't.
Because there's no tool to measure it.
No, because its start point is this: there is nothing supernatural. The start point is everything is natural. So it's like me saying to you, here's a tape measure, tell me how much I weigh.
Yeah, I agree.
And then because you can't tell me how much I weigh, I'm saying, I see, you can't do it. You show me how much I weigh, tell me how much I weigh. But the tool you're using is incorrect. So you need to sit down, relax. Before you come to the park, don't just blurt things out. Make sure you know what you're talking about, because there are people listening and they hear these emotional statements.
To be quite honest, he's blurted something out, and now...
We'll give you round two, don't worry.
Now he said that he should have said this.
I should have just
What should you have said? I'll tell you what you should have said.
I agree with
I don't believe God exists. You could say that. And that would just mean you don't believe God exists because you have no reason or you've not been convinced. Yeah?
Haven't been lied to or propaganda hasn't been
Lied to? Lied to in what sense?
I'm going to
More claims?
leave you now. I'm going to leave you now.
All right.
We disagree.
All right.